Hey, what's going on? Have you ever figured this out? Now give it a thought. Give it a thought. Okay, give this a thought. Okay. This, these are snowflakes. Okay. Do you think they're manufactured before they're cast down to the earth or they're manufactured on the way down to the earth? Don't forget, water and oil separate from each other. Okay. Numbers in totality, certain numbers, okay, some push, some pull, some will mix in colors. So when the rain comes down, when the water comes down, by touching the matrix system, it pieces off. This part, if you actually know where this is this is the exo board, okay? Now what happens, okay, is this happens right here. The water accumulates on this crossing point right here. Okay, these are the wires of the matrix. I mean, do you want me to draw it anything different and just put a tic-tac-toe board in there? Okay, to show you different. It accumulates right here. And that's why your snowflakes are always turning out like this, because it's just a crossways of the matrix. There is no way around 3 by 3 by 3. How do you get around? Okay? In order to transport something, it has to go through somewhere. It doesn't have to feel like anything, and you don't have to see it. The wind goes, and it goes from somewhere. You don't see it. You sometimes only, do you hear the wind, or do you feel the wind upon you? So if you're talking about any kind of new communication, okay, that is outside, hold on a second, that is outside the realm of this. If you are outside the realm of this, you are completely outside the realm. Okay? Now, why I'm saying that is MrTacpans is wearing Rubik's Cube. Where do you think that comes from? That idea comes from a night before with some money in his pocket over to I gotta go, I'm bipolar, and you know what? When I get the message, I have to just follow it. And I have to go, and I have to try and go as slow as I can, as fast as I could. As slow as I can, as fast as I could. Do you know why? Because the messages keep on coming. So you got to fulfill. It's almost like running down in the shopping center and having a shopping spree, but you must buy certain things in order to make the shopping spree legal. That's what they do. They make you pick certain items, and then you can go on the spree. You have to get those items first in order. Okay? That's the way it is. That's the way the mind is. Now the question is like this. You see, when this turns, okay, inside here where there's nothing, okay, but just a passage, that's called N passage. In the center of this is the N passage. Every 27 is the N passage. N, whatever you want, okay. In all actuality, right, on a cube, on a cube, the 9 spaces, okay, you can't run your life. Life is run A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. Now, either you're running these 3 and these 3, or you're running these 3 with these 3. But you can't run all these 3 at the same time, okay? Because look, all you ran is these. You ran 3 on this side, 3 on this side, 3 on this side, and 3 on this side. So the minute you decide to move 3, you have moved 12, okay? Your first turn, okay, which takes the L from like this to like this, standing up in an L position. The L position standing up saying it's a creative corner. It's ready. It's ready. It's in the L position. L is the 12th letter in the alphabet. 1 and 2 is 3. 3 is the number of creation. Okay, so how can you build a computer or anything outside of this? You can't. You just keep connecting them. And you just keep connecting them. And the power source is always the same. So they're always as powerful as each other. That's the only way to grow, is from within one. You connect all the power sources and brains together. Okay? This motherboard is finished, this motherboard. No, it divides it up. This is your library. You have a book about fiction. This is everything to do with fiction on this dot. This is anything to do with all kinds of books. So any number that can come out of a sequence of anything in books. This will hold all the sequences. Now, if I hold this one up and this one up and put them together, it will decode anything you want within these two Rubik's Cube. But the wiring can't do any different than this. Transport. Is transport magic, or how do you get around? How do you get around something? Because Marco Rodin, I was talking about it, and I jumped off the film. And when I say you can't go around this, okay, they say you could. Well, let me explain to you how you could. The energy cell right here and the energy cell that you don't see in this hand right here are one of the two same energy cells. So if this is me, I can recreate myself over here. The whole thing is, this one still has to talk to this one. So how do you pass these wires? You reduce the amount of wires to increase the space. Okay? It's how do you want to put it? Okay? This up to here and down to here is a 45-degree angle. 45, 45, 90, straight up and down and across. Where do you want to shove anything? Wherever you shove, okay, whatever touches this will be part of this number. What any wire you want to do will be part of this number. But let me show you something about Rubik's Cube and the way the dice works. The number 1 on the dice is here, okay? Excuse me, the number 1 on this cube, follow it. The 1 is here. The opposite on one of the dice is over here, 1 and 6, okay, like a hockey stick. The opposite on dice is 4, which is over here, and 3 over here. The opposite on a dice is 2 here and 5 here. So the dice actually makes up these two, and these 2 rows. Okay, this row is now free. So now you have to put the rest of the numbers in these 3 rows, whatever it is, if you're following me. I was also reading, yes, this is very much about, so unless something talks with something else, you can, okay, relocate something by dissolving it here and opening up the part of the mind over here. But the 2 spots have to communicate. Or, if you want to send something somewhere and have it come up like Captain Kirk and Spock on a planet, no matter what, you have to point it towards a planet. Okay? So now you're pointing outside of the realm, and you're now using, okay, another element, okay, a receiver, a different receiver outside of this. Like if you wanted to send me from my house to your house, okay, if you have air in your house, I will come out of the thin air because of the molecules that will be gravitationally pulled together, creating basically who I am very quickly until within seconds I'm actually there. But the thing is, you have to send me over there. So I have to go through one of these passages again. So can we actually add communication to a cube? Is there any more space than a cube? Is there any more colors than red, white, blue, green, black inside wiring, along with the gray? You know what the gray is all about? Here's a cigarette pack, okay? That's sort of like gray because it has nothing to do with the cigarette and the cancer you might get, okay? The green they put on the pack represents life, okay? But at the same time, when you see green, you have to know it's yellow and everything dies. So you got the cigarettes inside, you got yellow again. Everybody knows yellow teeth to remind you of the yellow teeth, so they put yellow at the top, okay? You won't see them put anything nice on filters. Tell me a filter that's nice. The only filter that I know is really nice is these filters that come on these things. These are what you call torpedoes. This is what leaves my Rubik's Cube about over here, okay? This, okay, is the reason for this, okay? This is what marijuana does. I told you, when you don't smoke, it goes down and it goes back to the hole. You have communication here, you have communication here. But once this pops out of the hole, okay, this communication becomes linked to one. It's now telling you this side of your brain and this side of your brain is getting the same information now. Instead of it just going here, it's opened it up to go here. You see, with this down, this receptor, which is probably 10 to 20 hours behind, has already received the information. You have already made the move. We don't even know it. It's so freaky. It's so freaky. We have made the move. Let's watch TV. The football game's on. Guy kicked the ball, but don't worry about it. It was intercepted and there's a touchdown because I'm at the game and I see. By the time you get it on TV, okay, the action is already after the fact. Did you not know that on radio? If you put one radio on and another radio on, you might not get the same, because they have to come out equal, okay? Because not all receivers and transformers and transmitters, I don't know what the words are, when they send it out, this one will send it out at 6.2 seconds, this one will be 5.8 seconds. So to make sure, okay, that everything comes out equally, they leave a space so they can catch up to it. At the same time, if something happens, they can cut it out in that whatever amount of time that is between this and that. And that's why I'm saying Spaceman is crazy. It's not there, but it's there because you can occupy it. Where's the space? I don't know where the space is, but you're standing in space. No one told you what to do. And space number is 444. The word space alone is a 44 letter count. 4 by 4 is 16. It's the cube. God made everything perfect because everything's an extension from one. One stick bent. They bent one stick at 45, they bent one stick at 90. The other two sticks they didn't bend. You know why? Because if I can show you what happens to when they do that, if they bend the two sticks, right? They bend the two sticks right here, and then all they do is, whoop, hold on a second, then all they do is put a line through it. Pitchforks. Do you know what these pitchforks are for? I just showed you. This is your mind getting the energy. But it's not only that. You see at the end of the pitchfork, okay, there's these little things, okay? Now, if you take a look at this upside down, it's an ohm. The sound, ohm, alpha, omega, ohm, okay? This, okay, ohm, if I add another line to it, it comes into the sign that they're calling a new sign of the Illuminati, which is the euro, okay? One of the reasons for 2 lines in the euro and not 1 is because they took this C and they put it inside this C, okay? And they made 1 C, but they divided the lines to show there's 2, showing that they're taking over because the end of this line is number 6. 3, 6, 9 means they take over the creation world. And that's why this is the way it is. Because if they flip it over to the other side, it's 147. They take over the spirit world and the angle of all communication. This is a communication. Don't you know it? The pitchfork is communication, because with the pitchfork that I was showing you up here, okay, I'm just going to show you a little bit of how it works, okay? Now, I'm hoping you're going to understand this. You see, I had to draw this line here and this one up here like a little jack, because you have to go around to hook this point to this point. So the pitchforks don't come apart. You do it to this point over here. If you take a look, it starts to grow the 2 arms and man's belly, okay? This is going to go straight up like Christ. So when you do that, it ends up, I'm going to try and do this because it ends up saying C, V. It ends up looking like this, right over here. It says CVC, which means creation of life. 3, 3, and 22 is number 28. 28 means Venus and Neptune, and that's the totality 10 of the power of Christ. You see, according to my numbers, you see, it's Venus and Neptune, okay, that give the energy of Christ to this planet. And Venus is the mother planet, and this is the beta worlds. Now, okay, not only can Venus do it, but Venus can't work alone, okay? Mercury was connected to Venus, and then Venus did all the work. And Mercury is also connected to Pluto for the birth, okay? So we don't need and we don't see planet Mercury next to the sun with no moon, and Pluto that we actually never see, because everything goes from there to Mercury. Mercury starts everything up in the beta system. Now, what happens? Well, we know ABC. So it's on the same line. So Venus doesn't need any moons to talk to Earth, and Mercury doesn't need any moons to talk to Earth, because they're 1, 2, 3 ABC on the telephone. So if we don't need any moons, okay, that's why there's no moons. Why does Earth have 1 moon? okay, and Mars have 2, okay, because this is the creation world in which Mother, okay, because it's the creation world, 1 and 2 have become 3. They have become the earth of man, okay? Therefore, man's not on 3 anymore. Man's 3 is actually a 6, because man is 6, okay? And I'm going to try and show you why. I'm going to show you a couple of squares, okay, a couple of square heads, and the reasons why man would be on, okay. Now, let's look at this. This would be the telephone keypad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, okay? Now I'm going to make some changes. I hope you're going to be able to see this properly, because when I'm done, you won't understand anyways, right? Okay. Now, did you see the first one? I put it in an envelope. It's like a sock, right? Now, here's the second one, okay? And I think I did this yesterday. I'm not sure, okay? And I did the second one, and that's a sock. They reflect each other. Just like in the cards, they reflect each other. And look how this is on one side, but down here it's on the other side. The same way the king, the jack, the queen, if you look at it on one side, you see it here. You turn it around, you see it here. So I'm showing you on the cards. If you look at the cards, the division here and the division here on the cards will tell you they're 2 different worlds. 1, 2, 3, 4, world A. 1, 2, 3, 4, world B. Beaches, reflections, connections, attachments. When you flip over 1, 2, 3, 4, just like if you flip over the king, the queen, the jack, okay, the reflection on the other side just reflects who we are, because it's all about us, okay? So what you have, okay, is now you have 4 for 1 in the center, for 4 for 1 in the center, 4 for 1 for 1 for 4. Sesame Street, go look it up. 4 for 1 and 1 for 4. And it shows you the crossroads. Okay? At the same time, we now have 8 around 1. The 1 heaven of 8, number 18 chai. The reason for 18 chai is because what you don't see. It's love. It's all 8 surrounding 1. 1 and 8 is 9. You have everything together. So this, okay, is this. One face. Okay? This, as you notice, I only went 1 to 4 and 1 to 4. So what the fuck? Excuse me, I said fox. I says, there's no 6. There's no 7. There's no 8. There's no 9. It's a count. The reason that was created is a count. The minute you make the reflection, it makes the count. It's not only that. This is 6 and my elbow's 4. Okay, once I move 6 up, the elbow goes down because they're connected together. That's why it works that way. They're connected in between. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and you have 0. So you have 0 and you have 4. You have no more than this count. But there's a 5 that goes for this side to connect this side, and the center one that goes for this side to connect this side. But it's not a 5. It's a 1. Okay? Because it's 1 away from everything. Okay? So since it's a 1, but it's an area 5, 5 for this side, and 5 for that side, is 10. So now you got a round of 4 for a 5, and 4 for a 5. 45, 9 by 5, okay, is the word fox, which also represents 666. Okay? Not only that, the 5 and 9 have the same letter count. Not only that, when you go play craps, okay, your roll, the sequence or whatever it is, pays out the same thing, 7 to 5. Just like 6 and 8 combinations. They pay out 7 to 6 just because it's man. Spirit of man is if you flip, if you throw the dice and you get 8 or 6, hey man, you just threw the roll of man in the heavens and you got paid the Spirit of God. And that's what the payout is. Numbers don't lie. You can't trick numbers. You don't go to the casino and say, we know it pays a quarter or a half, but they ain't giving you 0.25 cents. Sometimes you have to eliminate certain numbers. You go to a gas station, I put in 38 liters and 4/10. So now you have the basic thing of that. I don't know where I was, but 6 and 9 and 5 and 6 and 9, 5 and 9 and 6 and 8. It's just 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 straight. But let me tell you one thing. Do you want to know about Christaberg? Christaberg's holding a queen, okay? a jack, a 10, and a 9. All he needs is something for the straight. Well, listen to this. 8 and 9 is 17. And 10 is 27. And 11 jack is 38. And 12 queen, 50. The 50 years, the golden age, the golden times. 50, my friends, is the cat and the dog. The cat counts for 24, the dog counts for 26. This whole world is about 50. It's either 52, 54, or 56. It's 50 because this is the 50 means time. 50 on this side, 50 on that side, 100% of the time is up. 50. You got 40, you got the game board. The reason life is 30 because the negative on the background takes up for the rest of the life. You got 20 in the beta world, you got 10 in the man's world. You got the 10, 10, 10 world by connecting 1 and 9 because Venus takes over for the 1 and 1's connected to 9, making 10, in which 3 and 7 are connected direct, which is Earth and Uranus. And pretty much funny, the way your anus and Venus and Earth all go together because your nus and your anus is in the Earth. And that's where it comes from, the two of them. The nus and the anus come from the Earth. 2, 3, and 7. Let me light the cigarette up the right way. Now, there was something I was going to say. I don't remember what it was. I showed you this. This is all number 7. This, okay, is a spiral. This is a spiral. Okay, I can show it to you now. I can show it to you after. I can never show it to you again. I've showed it to you once. Do you want to see it again? Maybe I'll remember to tell you later. So anyways, Christenberg, the count of the cards he has is 50. Okay. Now, if he would have got the king instead of the 8, okay, the king has a value of 13. The 8 has a value of 8. There's a difference of 5. So since you add 50, he now have 55. 9 to king, king 9, K9 dog. It gives you the total of 55 in cards. Freedom 55. Just a coincidence the way the numbers come together that way? The reason Lenin came in and it didn't say 11, 10, it didn't say 10 and 11, although 10 is an odd number, okay? I didn't finish yet, okay? 52, it's a heart. Earth. The weeks in the year, 52 is everything. 54, it's love. Reverse 54 to 45, it's the fox and its communication with the wolf, who's 56. 56 wolf, 45 fox, 101 computer talk. We don't put in 0 is an explanation, and 1 never repeats. Why do I say that? 6 and 5 is 11. 6 and 4 is 10. You don't have any 1s. You have 10. In the 10 world, 1 cannot repeat because we start at 11. And 1 and 1 is 2. 12, 1 and 2 is 3. Whatever number you want, it's only going to give you 2 to 9. So there was this guy out there in science who says pick a number between 22 and 99. It's all about 9. Because with 9 and 9 spaces, you can use every single, with using the 9 multiple, okay, by all digits, okay, except for 0, okay, will give you every single one number, but you can't do it with anything else. You understand what I mean? If I say 7 times 2, it's 14, right? If I say 7 times 3, it's 21, okay? I've repeated the same number, 1. But when you use 9 times 2 is 18, 9 times 3 is 27, it keeps going 1, 9, 1, 8, 1, 7, 2, 7, 3, 6, 4, 5. It uses up all the numbers, so you can't make a mistake with 9. The other thing about life, a division. You got to remember, when you play pool, they give you 7 balls, they shove the 8 ball out there as a division, and they give you 7 more balls, okay? Passage. Passage, 7 knocked in to the 8 ball. The 8 ball, once the 7s are knocked in, now you have a chance to get to the heaven, okay? That's the 8th ball. 8 balls in between 1 and 9 separating the sides, okay? 8 separating the 1 and 9 digit, okay? 9 is another thing that if you want to calculate something, this is what I sometimes do with 9, if I can remember. 3, 6, 9, 12. Now I look like a real idiot because I forgot. But anyways, I was thought to be an idiot before I began, before I even forgot. 9, yeah, I don't remember what it was. 9 by 8, 9 by 7. Oh yes, I remember. If you want to do something, A to M, the alphabet. Put the N in the center, okay, and then you go O until X. Stop. Stop. The Y is an X with a leg missing. The Z is the N. It's another part of the connection of the end of the game between Y, Z, Y. X, Y, Z, Y, A. A, B, C, D, F, G, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Sometimes Y, and when it's the sometimes Y, you just connect it. Every time you put a Y in the alphabet, it makes another corner on the Monopoly board. So there's got to be 4 principal Ys, okay, or at least 2, to create the 4 corners in Monopoly. Okay, because Monopoly board, if you break it down, it's a pyramid. Okay, where you see the tracks are, it says the tracks, but the housing is on the inside. That's why there's not much on the inside, because all the housing is there, but they put the housing on the outside. Because you can, those Monopoly, I mean, the tracks are the Christ. The tracks, okay, are the trains that are coming. They're coming by trains, they're coming by planes, they're coming from under the ground. Atlantis comes, I hear the ring. Oh, diddly diddly dum, what do I do? Don't do anything. Be good. Just be good. I wanted to show you something in here that I did. So I did that Chris the Bird thing. 56 is the fox, 54 is love, 52 is the man in the heart, and 52 is also the letter count for 6, and man is 6, and the heart is 52, and man is heart, so go figure it out. The heavens is 38, right, for the game, and guess what? The spade is that number. Yes, if we go to Chris the Bird, the queen, okay, is an even number. The 10 is an odd number. The jack is an odd number. The 9 is an odd number. The 8 is not. So the 2 numbers that are even in Chris the Bird's 8 to queen, okay, on his straight, he had 20 for the even numbers, because even numbers are always even and odd are always odd, okay? But sometimes odd makes things even. So now what we got to do is we have 10, 9, 10, jack. 9, 10, and jack, okay, stand for 29, which means the birth of the queen. Okay. Now, if I add 10, jack, and queen and forget about the 9, okay, what you end up having is 33, the number of Christ. But if you listen to the song, okay, he reads the cards backwards. He says he has the queen, the 10, the nab, the jack of spades, and the 9. He doesn't say it in the order he should have said it. And did I have anything else in here? Oh my God. You see this? This is this. 2 X's. The third X makes a turkey. Thanksgiving is gone from the Illuminati sign. Okay? And then it turns into this. What turns into this? What turns into this? Ta-da! This is the letter K. This is the letter 7. The L, the 4. You know, there's just so many things. I mean, I'm just going to show you just one thing. I made a nice picture, but I don't know where it is. These are the pitchforks. This is the euro. Okay. There's 2 lines because here's one line that comes from this. This one has 1 line. They each get a line. Since they each get a line, I should have 2 lines here and 2 lines here. So what I'm going to do is this is what it would be. The euro is this unfolded. When you unfold the euro this way, and then you flip it this way, and then you flip it this way, this is what it comes out to be. The C, unravel it, and this is what it is. 2, 4, 6, 8. The even numbers, the communication in this world. And what happens this is what the Illuminati is trying to do right here. They're covering up the incoming communication. They're covering up the outgoing communication from the worlds. And they're covering up the angle of man out of his house and into the machine that's distributing the communication around. So they're covering up. This is basically what I think SOAP is all about. Okay? Don't forget, it's all about see, what you see, the American see, the Austrian see, the 7 C's. It's all about what you see. It's all about A, I, O, U. Any letter that you can use to say something, it's all about that. And it's all about communication. This cassette is coming and winding down. The clock is winding down. When the mouse ran up the clock, he wound it up, but now he winds on down. We must protect the Middle East. I don't care if you're Arab. I don't care if you're Lebanese. I don't care if you're Moroccan, Brazilian, Mexican, American, or Canadian. I don't care if you're Spanish or good-looking or ugly. I don't care how much you weigh or where you come from. If you can lift a finger and press it on the keyboard, we must protect the Middle East. The Middle East is where the Jew is. It's not a Jew at all. It was a mistake. Somebody cut God's tongue off. It meant juice, J-U-I-C-E, which means energy. And it all lies, okay, around the Mediterranean. The Nile is superior, that pushed a man like Moses. And God was trying to show you that this land down in Israel, I have a funny feeling is, you see this Rubik's Cube? I think there's one in Israel in the ground. Poof. Turn it, and it runs the world. Take this out, the world stops, like on the back of your watch. I think Israel, or the whole Middle East, can be lifted up and taken away to a faraway planet so they don't have to put up with us. Because they don't want to put up with anything. Something's wrong. Somebody put something in somebody's mind. A bad seed, a bad dream, a bad way of doing things. Okay? And it all lies somewhere around Israel. And it's not Israel either. It's what is real. Is it real? Is it the Mediterranean or is it the medication? Is it the Baltic Sea or the basilic? Is it the basilic sea, the Baltic Sea, because the basilic is what's so sour? Is that where the Pope is right now? If you don't think a number and thought doesn't connect, I just talk sometimes off the top of my head and it really doesn't matter. Because if the wires are connecting properly, they're going to say whatever they need to say and say it as well as they can when they could. And I'm going to try and help them out. Thank you for listening to everything I had to say. Don't forget, it's a book. I have to say it this way because I'm obliged to say it this way. Because you have to remember, it's only the way I say it in my book, what I think. And how do you? What do you do? Well, I got this book. No, this guy's wrong. I bought a book to see what this guy thinks about something, and now I say he's wrong. No, you're supposed to say, I don't think it's that way. How can it be that way? You see, you buy a book to find out if you can cut all the angles and expand the mind's thoughts. Although you read Rex, which way did Rex go? Oh, don't worry, because he wrecked everything and you'll be able to follow the path along the way. They call me Scruffy, MrTacpans. They call me Garfield. They tell me to take it out, I bring it out, I have to bring it back in. I started something yesterday, therefore before I started I had to end something that I was already doing. To continue on, I wake up in the night, so if I wake up I was from asleep. And if I got up and I went back to bed the next night. But obviously right now, as you can see, I'm sleeping. Of course I'm sleeping. I'm not here right now, I'm in bed. You're watching this at 2 o'clock in the morning. You think I'm up? I'm spying on you. How do you know my eyes don't go through the computer and every time you open it up, it comes back to my computer and I see what you're doing? So don't do too much while you're watching me. In fact, the only thing I ever ask anybody when they do watch me, grab yourself a pen, because this is what keeps me energized. When I can keep myself empty with no thoughts, if I can get every thought on the paper, I can continue putting new thoughts. I want to know, does anybody think I should shave my whole head and my beard? I never really asked this, and this is not professional anyways. Of course it's professional. It's my profession. My professionality. You know, when I put on the glasses, I look at myself and I say, you know what, that's a gangster. But he looks good. Looks good, good-looking gangster. I just like that beard, yeah. Sitting here. You're on the toilet right now, listening to me, so I'm screaming loud so you can hear me. Can you hear me, dear? You're on the toilet? I'm still doing the video, don't you know? Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up on yourself, okay? Yes, there's pressures. Organize inside the mind what you can do. Write it down, get it done. And like I said, if you owe, I owe. Off to work I go, and that's why I owe. I go to work to pay the bills if I could, and if I can't, well, you have to find a short wave and just cut it off. When it's no good, you cut out the gangrene, right? If you owe and it gives you bad credit, well, when your leg is coming off and you got to take out the bad stuff inside, you take the bad stuff off. It's the same thing. But everybody has this thing. It's about the money. We got to wait till Thursday. Who wants to wait till Thursday? Let them put the check in the bank. I should always have enough money. Everybody should always have enough money. We have made a mistake somewhere. That's why we don't. And a good part comes from ego of I want to win one and you want to win one and we all want to get rich and be one. The thing is with one, there's only one. You know, when it's one, they go first. When there's two, they go second. When it's three, they go third. When it's fourth, well, it's TH, time heaven. Fifth, TH, time heaven. Sixth, it's TH, time heaven. 21st, ST, start, ST, stop. Best and last. We are first, ST. Well, when you're fourth, it's T and H. But at 11th, you see, what's funny about 11, it's very special. Because 11, they say 11th. Okay, they don't say 21st. First, 21st. Everything is a first, ST. But 11th is not. It's a TH because this is time heaven. TH in time heaven. Fifth, with a 5, they change to an F. Time heaven passage, reason. Reason for the 3 letters on most of the numbers on your phone, reason. Time heaven categorization inside of the Rubik's Cube. The piece that I did not explain to you as of yet. Inside Rubik's Cube, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. 4 more corridors are made of 9 spaces. 2 lives in one Rubik's Cube. Angel and man. M-A. Spirit